Thank you to News 12 and FiOS 1 for broadcasting this response from the Suffolk County Legislature's Republican Caucus. My name is Legislator Kevin McCaffery, and I'm the leader of the Republican Caucus. I'd like to provide some context and clarity on the speech we all just heard from the county executive. Suffolk County is racing off the edge of a cliff. Over the last several years, the county executive and Democrats have amassed a structural deficit of $500 million. That means this county is underwater. In fact, the Democrats continue to raise taxes and fees. People are leaving this county every day, not because they don't like the beaches, but because they simply can't afford to live here. Time is running out. We must change course instead of continuing down a path to self-destruction. As I speak with constituents, each person has a family member or friend who has been forced to leave Suffolk County because of how expensive it is to live here. I recently spoke with a woman in West Babylon who held back tears as she talked about having to leave her children and grandchildren behind because she could not afford to live in Suffolk County anymore. The actions of the county executive and the Democrats in the legislature are literally ripping our families and this county apart. We heard tonight about hard choices that have been made, but as a politician, there's nothing hard about saying the word yes. The Democrats' problem is they can't say no. To be clear, every Republican voted against the county executive's budget, and every Democrat voted for it. And to hide these costs, to hide them and enable the county executive to talk about keeping the county taxes below the mandated cap, the county executive and the Democrats in the legislature are inventing new ways to take people's money while putting the county deeper in debt. The red light camera program continues to be a revenue generator for the county, even as reports show increases in the number of accidents at these intersections. But these fees are hurting our residents. Take, for instance, Sal Pianto, an 86-year-old Korean War veteran who recently passed away. Sal never had an accident or even gotten a ticket in his life. That is until the red light camera program was instituted. Sal racked up more than $1,000 in red light camera tickets on his daily trip to get coffee and bagels. But now, as people are getting fewer tickets, the county executive drummed up a new way to increase revenue. He proposed doubling the administration fee on traffic tickets from $55 to $110. This is not because the amount of administrative work has doubled, but because he simply wants more money. Thanks to Republicans and public opposition, that resolution was withdrawn. The alarm management fee, which was sold to the public as a way to increase public safety, has actually caused people to disconnect their alarms, putting families and possessions at risk. And when reasonable legislation was introduced to lessen the cost burden on residents while keeping the program intact, it was voted down by the Democrats in the legislature. Last year, the county executive and the Democrats passed a law that raised fees for first-home buyers, people wanting to refinance the mortgage, and seniors who've worked hard their entire life and are finally paying off their mortgage. Some legislators justified the increase by saying it's only an extra $300, and that wouldn't force people to move out of Suffolk County. I'm not sure what world they are living in. The fee increase is again not tied to an increase in work or services provided by the county, but it's simply just a way for the county to generate money so the county executive can keep saying yes, and the Democrats in the legislature can rubber stamp his agenda. All of these fees are the equivalent of a hidden 100% tax increase every single year. Even when you register your car, you're paying these taxes. It's time to stop the fees. We have fee increases for almost everything. Another recent increase by the county executive is a ticket surcharge fee increase of $110, which means a $25 parking ticket would cost you $135. And there was a proposed $275 commercial exhaust fan inspection fee. And even after you die and you think you're at eternal rest, you're hit with one more fee, a cremation clearance fee of $75, as one funeral director called it, a cremation penalty tax. This is truly death by 1,000 cuts. Enough is enough. This is why my fellow Republicans in the legislature continue to hold the Democrats' feet to the fire, continue to fight for more transparency in the budget process, and are the ones who are determined enough to stand up and say no to overspending and new and increased fees to pay for it. Saying no is a hard choice. not yes, saying no to projects that may be well-intended but financially unfeasible in the county's current financial mess is a real hard choice. This is why we support legislator Rob Trotter's bill to limit county fee increase to 2%, the same as the state mandate on tax increases. This is why we support legislation to make sure any fee increase that is proposed is justified by directly tying it to a service and not proposed just to fill the county executive's budget gaps. The county executive and the Democrats in the legislature worked with Republicans on balancing and reducing the county's debt. There'll be more money to repair the roads and the county's infrastructure. More money to fight the opioid epidemic, which has already claimed too many lives in our communities. More money to invest in protecting our drinking water. And of course, more money to fight the MS-13 gang violence that is terrorizing our communities and taking the lives of our young people. But before we start this investing in full force, we need to make the tough decisions now. We've all gone through and continue to go through tough financial challenges. This is no excuse. If income is down, then spending should be too, at least until we figure out sustainable methods of generating more income that isn't overburdensome on taxpayers. And while the county executive talked about balancing budgets, he's refused to tell people the real truth. The dirtiest secret is the borrowing the county uses to balance its budget every single year. Since 2008, the county has borrowed approximately $500 million to make up the difference between budgeted revenue and budgeted expenses. This is called our structural deficit. What a great name. It almost sounds like every budget should have one. The county Democrats borrow money from the state pension fund to pay pension obligations, $352 million since 2011. And the county executive, who says he wants to protect our drinking water, borrowed $153 million from the sewer stabilization fund over the last 8 years. This fund was designed to expand Suffolk County sewer systems to protect our water, but was instead used to fill Ballone's budget gaps. This is simply not sustainable. The way the Democrats are running county government is if you had to take out a second mortgage every time you wanted to pay your landscaper. 10 years ago, our debt was roughly $600 million. Today, after 10 years of Democratic control, our debt now exceeds $2 billion. These reasons are why the Republicans in the 2017 legislature are committed to stopping the fees and taking back control of the county to stop the financial bleeding and to make this place better for everyone now and in the future. But if we want to succeed in keeping this county from going off the cliff and making this place a better and more affordable place to live, we need help from the public in taking our county back. I've repeatedly asked the county executive to meet with the stakeholders of county government to help us find solutions. The unions are as concerned as the Republican minority that the county may not be able to pay its bills unless fundamental changes are made. I call on the county executive to meet with legislative leaders and the unions to come up with real solutions to our fiscal crisis that does not include kicking the can down the road and irresponsible fee increases. I know we all have families, jobs, and lives to lead, but if we stand together, speak out for what's right as well as what's wrong, we'll be able to take back our county and return it to properly serving the taxpayers. Thank you very much. God bless our county and our great nation.